welcome to the men's room. As always, I'm your host, Newton Downey Jr. Today we have a very special men's room. That's right, as you know, we don't cover basketball on this program at all, and we don't cover hockey until after the All-Star break. So after the Super Bowl, we're all a little hungover and we're taking a little break, usually. But as it turns out, there's something in beautiful Hollywood, California, where we filmed the men's room that I've been ignoring for the longest time. That's right, I'm talking about the Academy Awards, the Oscars. It turns out that there's betting odds leveled on all the Academy Awards, and if there's betting, you can bet your bottom dollar that the men's room will give you the keys to success the weekend of the Oscars. That's right, February 9th, folks, we're going to be talking about the Oscars. We're going to be giving you all the best bets. We're going to give you a car house lock for this year's Best Picture, as well as going over some of the people's categories. That's right. I'm sick and tired of all the artsy-fartsy stuff involved in the Oscars, and so we're going to be talking about, it's an industry term, but below the line. We're going to be talking about the blue-collar Oscars, if you know what I'm saying. That's right. Before that, though, I want to thank our sponsors. That's right. As always, we're brought to you by LadyJane's Haircuts for Men, where you can get a neck lather, you can get a shave, and a beautiful person. As you know, I call them people now. And they'll be giving you a neck lather, a shave. You can watch sports. You can probably watch the Oscars there for all I know. I've never been there on Oscar Bowl Sunday, but you can probably catch them Oscars. As well as get a shave, a neck lather. They'll give you a beer. It's a beautiful opportunity. Also brought to you, if those of you who were watching us before know that we were previously sponsored by Blue Chews for Men's Erection Pills. However, they did drop us because they don't like to be referred to as erection pills. But the nice thing is we got 4 Hims for Men's Erection Pills that now do sponsor us. So that's great. So we want to give a big thank you to 4 Hims for Men that also have a regenerative growth formula that you can pop on your top, and not the top you think I'm talking about. You can pop on the top of your head, grow a little hairs back, okay? I want to welcome my first guest to help me weed through the entertainment industry, which is something that I don't know as well as others. So I'm bringing in the closest guy that I know to the entertainment fields, my brother-in-law, Terry Howard. He married my beautiful sister, Julie Louise Downey Jr., and they've been happily married for approximately 18 months. He just put a bun in her oven, and they're going to be expecting a child fairly soon in Hollywood, California. Raise him up in this coastal bubble, as they say. I brought on Terry because Terry works in the entertainment field. Can you give us a little bit about what you do, Terry?
Well, hi, Newton. Thanks for having me. I've been trying to call you ever since Thanksgiving when you dinged my car in the driveway on the way out. But,
we call those whiskey dings in the Downey Jr. household, if you know what I'm saying.
Sure. Well, it's
a little tryptophan in the turkey didn't help. Okay?
It's just great to get some FaceTime with you finally. And if this is what it takes, then as Newton mentioned, I am a paralegal in entertainment law.
He works for Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe. Three Stooges.
You know, that's funny. My favorite stooge was always Shemp Howard.
Okay. Nice try. Okay, move on.
Okay.
Next one.
Well, I'm used to being behind the camera as a paralegal in entertainment law, but, it's very exciting to finally be in the spotlight here with you.
Well, I'm pleased as punch to have you. I need a little help on this. As you know, I'm not so much of a movie fan. If I had my druthers, I'd say Invincible with Mark Wahlberg should have been nominated for Best Picture this year. Sadly, they don't nominate films older than 5 years. So in the calendar year of 2018 to 2019, we got to talk about what is nominated. And first and foremost, we're going to start with the Best Picture nominees.
Of course.
This is the big one, folks. This is the one where you can make your gravy back, okay? There's 9 nominees this year, and all of them have different properties. You know, some of them are fun to watch. Some of them, let's just say, some of them are men's room approved, and some of them are a snooze, okay? So we're going to start at the top. Let me have it, Terry. What's the first nominee?
Okay, let's dive right in here. My pick for Best Picture this year is Little Women.
Snooze. Next, I didn't see the thing. They made one like 25 years ago. How many Little Women's are they going to make? You know? That's what I'm asking. If you're going to remake a movie, remake Remember the Titans. I mean, give me a break here. I want to see a remake of Heaven Can Wait with William Beatty. That guy's. You ever see that head of hair on that guy? Guy reminds me of Jimmy Garoppolo, Super Bowl winning or losing quarterback.
Oh, he must subscribe to 4 Hymns.
He don't even. I don't think William Beatty needs anything to do with 4 Hymns. Okay.
Well, you told me before the show that I should try to plug the sponsors as much as possible.
No, he does. Yeah, you're right. He subscribes to Nutrisystems for men, keep his physique. 4 Hymns for erections.
Sure.
Absolutely. I just don't think he needs the hair solvent. Okay, next, snooze on Little Women.
All right.
Next.
So
I don't even think there's a man in the movie, to be honest with you. I didn't see it, but I doubt there's even a man.
Well, my runner-up then for Little Women would be Marriage Story by Noah Baumbach.
Snooze. Well, I'm going to watch people fight. I fight with my wife all the time. I could do that at home, okay? I don't need to tune into Hulu to watch people be freaking fighting, okay? I just tell my wife I want to watch TV, basically. She does all the fighting for me. Okay, next.
Well, what did you think, Newton? What are your picks for Best Picture?
I'll tell you this much right off the bat. Number one, Christian Tarantino did an amazing job with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That's one of the only of the 9 Best Picture movies I saw. And I'll tell you this much. If I had an Academy Awards nominee vote, I would vote for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood because, dude, I'm going to tell you this much. Brad Pitt is a freaking man in that movie, okay? The way he punches those hippies, it's unbelievable. He smokes those hippies. I'll tell you this much, dude. I was talking to my friend Sal, and he said to me, could you imagine if Brad Pitt was in World War II? Can you imagine what he'd do to Hirohito? Send that dude back to the island, okay? Kick his butt, dude. Send that dude back to... You could grab him by the ears, pull him up next to old Adolf, and you kick them both in the butt. I would have loved to see Brad Pitt in World War II. I also very much liked 1917. I saw that movie. When they told me, so going into the movie, I'll tell you this much. This is a funny anecdote. I read in the reviews that it was a one-shot movie, okay? So I go into this movie thinking, okay, cool. They should be charging me half price. I mean, how long can it be? 3 minutes? This movie was a full 2 hours. It was one shot. It's like, I can't even imagine it must have been like a ballet trying to do that type of dance. They must have had a field general like Jimmy Johnson of the Dallas Cowboys directed that movie. Next up, I did also see Jojo Rabbit. Okay, you know what? Next time, try not laughing at history. Okay, there's nothing less funny to me. Okay, than concentration camps. And you can take that to the bank. I don't laugh one bit at that. Okay, I'm sensitive about history.
That's very brave of you. Someone had to say it.
No, and I'm glad I have the platform here in beautiful Hollywood, California. Sometimes these liberal elites lose sight of what really is meaningful these days. And I'll tell you what, making jokes about that stuff, okay? Like, listen to me about this. Listen to this. You can't even go to a college campus and tell a funny joke anymore without getting booed off the stage, right? Okay? Funny guys like Bill Byrne and Jerry Seinfeld can't even go to a college campus anymore. But then this guy is using $20 million to make Nazi comedies? Give me a break. Next up we had what? The Joker? Give me a break, dude. He didn't even make any jokes in the whole movie. Talk about can't go to college campuses. This guy basically is a college campus. Was reading Kierkegaard or something. I don't know what he's doing. Jacqueline Phoenix is a masterclass in acting. If I wanted to be bored to death, the guy doesn't even talk the whole movie. All he does, I'm not going to eat, oh, blah, blah, blah.
What did you think of Ford v. Ferrari?
Oh, Ford v. Ferrari. That was a complicated time for me because, as you know, as the resident Lions fan in this room, I am not a fan of the Ford Foundation, the Ford family, because they own my beloved Lions, and they have tanked them. But
I would have thought you would have picked the American-made, though.
That's the thing. I love it because it is American-made.
Right.
It was a little complicated for me, but absolutely. I mean, I would rather have been General Motors versus Ferrari, but you can't argue with history. And I love kicking those Italian butts, you know.
You know, for me, lipstick red Ferrari can't be beat.
How about a Ford Tundra, okay? How about a Ford Ranger, okay? How about an extended cab Ford Ranger? I wish they would have raced them with trucks. I wish they would have brought a four-wheeler on there. Could you imagine they had a two-wheel drive on that thing? Think about bringing a four-wheeler on that. That would have been amazing, dude. They could run a Ferrari over. Next up, we got The Irishman. That movie was great. Master director Martin Scorsese. I saw many of his movies in the day. I just wish he would do some sports movies. Could you imagine if that guy directed Invincible? Oh, dude, I would love to see Mark Wahlberg and Martin Scorsese.
You know, a lot of people thought the de-aging was distracting. What did you think?
De-aging? What do you mean?
Well, you know, they're actually older people, older actors, and they used, like, computer technology to...
What?
You didn't know that?
Are you
Yeah.
kidding me?
Yeah.
Oh,
Cost
my
like $300
God.
million.
Oh, the fences.
I guess
here.
you wouldn't. You know, I'm a paralegal in entertainment law, so
They use computers.
I know this stuff.
They use computers on Bobby De Niro.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's gross. I mean, I'm glad they use computers instead of makeup. I'll say that much up front. But I can't believe that they use computer. You know what? I might even change my mind. Give it to Martin Scorsese. I'm not confident enough on this to give you my car house lock of the week. I might have to think about it as we go through some of the other categories. But stay tuned to the end of this Oscar special Academy Awards, and I'll tell you who's the best bet for Best Picture.
Okay, well, thanks for having me. I want my grill back. You've had it for like 8 months.
Okay, why don't you call my wife?
Okay.
Why don't you have my sister call me? How about that?
And Bacali with a tremendous break on the ball. Bubble!
Well, as promised, we're going to move on. And one of the things that I did not want to do is do some of these snooze categories. I mean, what? Best documentary, snooze. Best actor, snooze. Best actress. These people are millionaires. They don't need any more awards. Congratulations. So we're going to go to the Blue Collar Awards. Okay, it was also brought to my attention there was one more nominated Best Picture that we didn't cover. The reason we didn't cover it is because I don't read movies, okay? There's a movie called Parasite. I don't know what it's about. It sounds like me after eating too much turkey. However, we're going to move on to one of these, as promised, below-the-line categories, blue-collar categories, if you will. The reason I call these blue-collar categories is because, A, the people are not millionaires, okay? They're not freaking millionaires like all the actors, okay? And they're not going to tell you politics when they accept their awards, okay? They're just going to go up there. They're going to say, thanks a lot. I love my wife, okay? Okay? And because of that, I want to bring in our sound editor here at the studio. He does sound editing at the Ice House, and he does sound editing here for the men's room. Mr. Barry Peppers. Barry, come on. Barry, can you tell me a little bit about the sound mixing as an, I guess, what would you call it, art form? Or profession? It's not an art form. It's a blue-collar profession. Yeah. It's basically like changing tires.
Yeah, so think about blue-collar art forms. Parasite is really...
Okay, all right, here we go. PC police in here, okay? I'm sorry I didn't read the movie, okay? All right. Basically, we're going to talk about sound, okay? So I want your professional opinion because we're trying to give the best odds to you, the viewer. So we're going to start with my favorite of the year, Mr. Ford versus Mr. Ferrari. What'd you think about the sound editing of that movie, huh?
Oh.
I mean, I loved it. I say that probably is either 1 or 1A for me. I also really like Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. You like that one? You're from Hollywood.
Oh, my God. That movie was just such a piece of shit.
Whoa! We're on the air here, fella. Piece of great movie, okay? Piece of celluloid, maybe, okay? Brad Pitt was in that. He was freaking awesome. He was also in Ad Astra. I didn't see that one. It sounds Latin or something. The only way you're going to get me to watch a movie like that if it's a little similar to Caligula, if you know what I'm saying.
I think you're missing out on some great cinema here.
Sure. Tell me about it.
Yeah, okay.
Okay? Who wins cinema, okay? Huh? What's the score of cinema? I'll watch cinema when there's a winner and a loser. One weekend a year, okay, the Oscars. Who you guys the winner? What's the pick? What's your car house? Lock of the Oscars.
Honestly, none of the films.
1917, folks. You can lock that one in. So our next category, again, for the blue-collar Oscars is going to be, now this is not necessarily a blue-collar category because it is very computer-intensive, and I'd like it a lot better if they were not doing ones and zeros, okay? If you didn't need a third-level degree from MIT to do it. But the reason I picked this one is it's actually some movies that people have seen. Okay? Yeah, you might have heard of a couple movies like Star Wars. How about Captain America? Okay? So let's get with it. I'm going to bring in my friend who, again, he is not a digital effects artist, but he does know a thing or two about fun times at the movies. My friend, Chuck Hunnam. Now, you've seen a lot of the movies this year. Am I correct?
Not quite.
You saw most of these, though, probably, right? You saw Star Wars. You love Star Wars, right?
I saw Solo.
You ever
that
see?
come out
Oh,
this year?
Solo! I'm a young guy, but I spent my entire life wondering how Han Solo learned how to fly his car sideways. That was so enlightening to me. I love when they do prequel movies because it's like you watch the movie and you're saying to yourself, this guy's a cool guy. I'd love to see how he learned to drive a car. Okay, I want to see where he got dice on his windshield. All right, so you're a big populist movie guy. You love all these movies. So let's run them down real quick, okay? So you got Star Wars. I know you love Solo. You got to love Star Wars. You love it? A to B, what you think? A to C, D?
Oh, God. C?
C for Star Wars. That doesn't bode well. How about the Captain America and the Iron Man?
That's what I'm talking about.
Yes, that was a fun movie. Little long.
Let me tell you about that movie, though. When the big boys busted out of that building, we're talking Hulk. We're talking War Machine.
Iron Man.
Giant Man.
I love
when they busted out of that big building, boy.
That was sweet.
The theater was going nuts.
I heard people laughing. I heard people crying. It touched all the bases. We got Lion King. This one's interesting to me because
that was a documentary.
People love dude. That's what I thought too. But it turns out that thing's freaking computers too. After that, we got 1917. That's a war movie. I don't even know what they had necessary for special effects. It was a single take. I don't know how you do computers on that. Okay, what do you put a computer in your camera? No thanks. I don't think they have that technology. Oh, and then The Irishman. Now, this is a revelation to me. I had no idea The Irishman was computer generated. Okay? I just thought Bob De Niro looked good. He must be eating his spinach, okay?
I also thought that was a documentary.
That's unbelievable. You got some interesting taste, my friend. So what do you got? What's your car house lock for best visual effects on the Oscars?
So here's the thing. I don't think these awards matter anymore. I think, look, I was born in 2008, so I don't really watch.
You gotta hear it's The Irishman. And now our final guest of the afternoon to get you ready for the blue collar special awards on the Oscars. We got Thomas Newman. Now Thomas is a contract worker, and so I thought he would have a great. Come on out, Thomas. I thought he'd have a great sense of what we could talk about in terms of production design, okay? Now, basically what production design is, and the reason I like this category, is it's essentially a builder's, okay? It's a builder's square, okay? These are the folks who are making the rooms. They're making the countertops. You know, they're sanding things. These are the real men behind the picture. And so I thought, since you're a contractor of a little different variety, but I thought you might be able to shed some light on some of these pictures. Okay, we're going to get right to it. Okay, we have Jojo Rabbit. What'd you think about Jojo Rabbit? They had to build Nazi camps, basically, which was in poor taste, but well built.
It was
I didn't like it. Next up, we have Irishman. What'd you think about Irishman? I loved it. I thought it was cool looking at these old Italian restaurants. I loved it. I dipped my bread in that wine, if you know what I'm saying. What'd you think about that one?
Yeah, I thought it looked a lot like
a good one.
A restaurant that I had
you been there?
to. Well, there was a few.
Fox and Hounds.
There's a lot of Italian restaurants I've been to. And
I love Italian
There's
food.
one in
I love
Burbank,
hot sausages.
Pinocchio's.
I never been.
It's kind of a buffet style.
Did they
Italian.
sponsor the program? If not, please don't talk about it. Okay. Next up, we got
sorry about
1917.
shit.
What, did they have to build a field? The movie takes place in a flipping field. Next.
Wait, which one?
1917.
Oh,
Forget
yeah.
it.
No,
Parasite? Didn't see it. Did you see Parasite?
What is that?
Exactly.
About it?
Snooze.
No, but I think that
What's
isn't
up,
that
Joker,
was that
man?
Paris.
The problem with the Joker, I didn't love the movie, but I loved a lot of elements about it.
Yeah,
I
it
loved
was-
the look of it. I loved some of the stuff. I just wish they would have had a cooler Joker.
There
like
was
a guy with
wasn't
like
that
some
it
punching
was an
power, okay?
animated.
A guy that could shoot a machine gun, for freaking sake. I can't even imagine. Joaquin
Yeah.
Phoenix looked like he's a straw bean, okay?
Uh,
I'd like to see Ray Lewis shooting a gun as Joker, okay? I'd like to see Brian Urlacher, one of these great old football players that retires. I'd love to see them get into acting, What if Brian Urlacher
right.
was the Joker? Think about that.
Yeah.
That would be sweet.
Uh,
So what do you got? Production design, what do you think it is?
Yeah. So I would,
Irishman, here you got it. You can
I-
take that to the bank. Your car house.
Well-
Lock of the week, the
well,
Irishman.
It does. I like Italian food.
Thank you, Mr.
and
Newman.
I like Italian restaurants. All right.
Thank you, Mr. Newman.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you, the viewer, for sticking with us. I hope we've given you some insight. The #1 movie of the year, Car House, Lock of the Year. Okay, Lock of the Decade. You can take this to the bank. Put all your money on, drum roll please, Ford vs. Ferrari is your winner this year because it is by far pole position #1, the best film of the year. It's about men enjoying each other's company, much like football, much like racing sports in general, although I don't consider those sports. Okay, for Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and Men's Room in Hollywood, California, this is Newton Downey Jr. signing off and taking you forward down the red carpet.